What is going on, my beautiful DCU brothers and sisters? And before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, all that good stuff. And apparently, we got another I hate James Gunn and everything that he does with the DCU. Apparently, so someone hit me up on my inbox saying, "Truth, why don't you do a video on 4KO?" And I'm like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, I don't know who that is. And apparently, like I said, he is not a fan of what James Gunn does. He's hating everything that James Gunn does with the DCU. I'm assuming. I have not watched this video. Like I said, I don't know who this person is. But someone wanted me to do a video on him and share my thoughts on what he says that Superman, the upcoming Superman film, is for children. Oh my God, a Superman movie made for kids. How could this be? So let's take a look and let's dive into what this person has to say and whether or not we agree or disagree. Ready? Here we go.
I just cannot believe that Warner Brothers decided to drop that preview. Now, some people like it. Some people claim, "Hey, I have a dog," and that's how.
And the preview he's referring to is the one that showed Krypto attacking Superman, which was hilarious, by the way. I love that. I thought it was hilarious. So, all right, here we go. Just for context.
My dog react. My dog don't act like that. I got a guard dog. I'm sorry. I got a dog that's going to just rip anybody ass up that steps on to my property. I don't do all this. Oh, I want the dog licking me all in my face and all that. I do not do all that. I love dogs, but I don't do all that.
Well, yeah, there's a difference between a real dog and a super powered CGI dog with a cape in a movie that's fictional, that deals with superheroes and superpowers. Yeah, of course, there's a distinct difference between a real dog. My dogs don't do that. Well, some dogs do and some dogs don't. My dogs can't fly. Well, yeah, of course your dogs can't fly. This is the real world. What are you talking about, sir? Let's continue.
My dog has to know how to behave.
Okay. Again, I don't know. Let's see. Let's skip all this.
I forgot to put the.
Let's get to the meat of the bones here.
Come in and say, "Hey, man, look, I love the trailer. This is an open conversation, and I don't want nobody going at each other's necks about it. Let's remember, it's all fictional at the end of the day."
Yes.
But as for me, that trailer, that preview, was not what we all wanted to see in regards to that of a Superman film. It's clumsy, it is childish, it is immature, and not to mention visually uninspiring.
It's clumsy, it's childish. Are we going to get any further clarification on what's clumsy about it? I don't. What's clumsy about it? Do you not like the filmmaking? Do you not like the comedic element that was added to it involving Krypto? And visually uninspiring. I don't know what you wanted to see. What's visually uninspiring about it? I'm sure we're going to get some clarification on this. I'm sure there's going to be a deep dive into what's visually uninspiring about it. To me, I think the film looks absolutely beautiful. The cinematography is on another level. Number one, there's actual color in this movie. It's not washed out, dulled out grayness that we've seen from some Marvel movies, and especially, again, I love Zack Snyder, but my God, bro, it was just this oppressive, gloom to the look of the film that some people appreciate. Obviously, a lot did not, but I mean, compared to this is like, oh my god, there's actually sunlight in the DC universe. There's actually color in the DC universe. They're actually utilizing cinematography and going on locations to shoot the film. Wow, they could do this? Yes, boys and girls, they can.
I don't get why people feel that that is what we want to see from our superheroes in general. You feel what I'm saying here?
No.
We went through this with Thor, Love and Thunder, Thor Ragnarok, Thor. Well, no, not Thor. It was the Marvels, right? The Marvels, the Flash, Blue Beetle, Birds of Prey, the Suicide Squad, Aquaman. We went through this already.
What did we go through?
We do not want clumsy superhero films.
I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what clumsy superhero means. Like, what do you mean? Do you mean the comedic tone? Is that what you mean? And again, we haven't seen the film, so we can't compare this film to a Thor Ragnarok or the Marvels, which I haven't seen the Marvels still. I have not seen the Marvels. Blue Beetle I actually liked. Like, Blue Beetle is actually like the last good DCEU movie that came out, but unfortunately, it was just released in a time where general audiences just gave up on the whole Zack Snyder DCEU, universe. But Blue Beetle is actually a pretty good film. But again, I don't know what you mean by clumsy. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming he means comedic tone. I'm assuming.
Let you in 1 second, Phil Goblin. We want our superhero films to be cinema, right?
All right. You want your superhero films to be cinema. Again, I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean? By cinema, I'm assuming, again, there's a lot of assuming on my part because he's not really clarifying his statements. By cinema, you want what? Well, in terms of cinema, that means good characters, a good story, great dialogue, great cinematography, great filmmaking, great visual effects in whatever genre that you're venturing into. Is that what you mean by cinema? Again, look, clarify, bro. Clarify. Use your words.
What was the main critique about superhero films back in the days? They were not to be taken seriously. However, when you think about it, we all argued that superhero films can be taken seriously. The Dark Knight showed us that, right? We have Elijah City.
Well, Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man showed us that. Spider-Man 1 and 2. Spider-Man 2 still, in my opinion is correct. It's still the best Spider-Man movie of all time. Hashtag make Spider-Man 4. But yeah, and then you had the X-Men even before Spider-Man that showed that you can take superhero films seriously. And then you had X-Men 2, which is the best X-Men film ever made. And then after that, you had films like Batman Begins and then The Dark Knight, and then you had Iron Man, and that was the birth of the MCU, where you can take these properties and make them serious and make them good and even great.
James Gunn took the super out of Superman and made it look cringe. That's how I feel. I feel it is absolutely cringe. Phil Goblin, let me let you up in there. Let me add you to the stage, brother.
What's going on, bro?
Can you hear me? What's up? Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's happening? I just cannot believe that Warner Brothers decided to drop that preview. Now, some people like it. Some people claim, hey, I have a dog, and that's how my dog reacts.
The beginning.
My dog don't act like that. I got a guard dog.
Yeah, of course your dog doesn't act like that because this dog is not real. It's a CGI super dog with a cape that has heat vision and flies. It's added for comedic effect. It's a dog. A CGI super powered dog. dog. Of course, your dog is not going to act like that. It may have similar traits, which is why, Ozu was the inspiration, and I believe they motion captured an actual dog to mimic its movement. And then obviously with the CGI effects they added in to embellish the characteristics of Krypto, the super dog. It's not meant to be real, bro. It's not meant to be real. What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here?
I'm sorry. I got a dog that's going to just rip anybody ass up that steps on to my property. I don't do all this. Oh, I want the dog licking me all in my face and all that there. I do not do all that. I love dogs, but I don't do all that. My dog has to know how to behave. What's happening, bro? What's up, Trey? I see Trey up in this thing too.
My dog has to learn how to behave. That's why I whoop its ass and beat its ass. Somebody call PETA, for God's sakes. Somebody call Protective Pet Services. I need you on speed dial.
Yeah, I gotta admit, dude, when I saw that, that was basically a message from James Gunn and Warner Brothers that they do not respect the character of Superman whatsoever.
Yes. They do not respect the character of Superman whatsoever. Unlike Zack Snyder, who had Superman murdered in his second film, had him mopey, depressed, removed all the characteristics of Superman. That's my Superman. But James Gunn, the only director in the past 12 years whose sole purpose was to bring back Superman, bring back the John Williams score that everyone loves, bring back the hope, bring back the essence of who the character is, bring back Krypto the super dog, which no director would ever in their right mind even try to do. But James Gunn says, no, I want Superman. I want the classic Silver Age aspects of Superman. So I want to bring back Krypto. I want to bring back what people love about the character. Well, I guess the 250 million people that broke the record for Warner Brothers trailer in history, I guess we're all wrong, No, we don't want that, bro. We want the dark, gritty Superman back. That's our Superman.
And it's funny how people like Jords Corner will think that Snyder did not respect Superman, but yet will praise this clip from this movie where you literally see Krypto beating the shit out of Superman after he's already been down and making a joke out of him. It's ridiculous.
Right. But at the same time, how is it that we're supposed to take it seriously? And we got scenes like that in the, oh my goodness, it's a popcorn flick.
Yeah. How can we take a comedic scene seriously? Oh my God, because we all know this scene is going to be the whole movie throughout the 2 hours. How can we take it seriously? I mean, come on. How can we take a dog with a cape seriously? Don't they know this is cinema? Don't they know this is supposed to be a dramatic film with heavy subject matter? Come on, people. What are we doing here? Don't they know who Superman is? Cue the serious Hans Zimmer music right now. James Gunn, why do you continue to ruin everything? Why are you injecting fun in my movies? Have you not seen what Zack Snyder has done with the Superman franchise? He made that shit epic and raw and gritty. It's all about drama. Let's continue.
I mean, you take it at face value based off what I just said. Like what they're basically trying to tell you is that they don't like the character. They do not respect Superman at all whatsoever. And that's what I took from it.
Yeah, they don't like Superman. Yeah, James Gunn completely hates Superman, which is why James Gunn wants to make Superman the sole figure in the DC universe, which is why Superman is the first movie right out of the gate of the DCU. Yeah, James Gunn. If that's James Gunn hating Superman and not respecting Superman, then I need more of that. Then I need more directors disrespecting Superman like James Gunn is disrespecting Superman right here.
Well, we know that because look how they treated Henry Cavill, right?
Mhm.
Like the fans was telling you, look, we want another Henry Cavill film. We want another Henry Cavill film. And Warner Brothers refused to give it to you. It's like they don't respect the character. In fact, they don't respect any of their characters.
Well,
Because
I agree that Warner Brothers, but they make it seem like it's James Gunn. No, it's Warner Brothers. I agree. Warner Brothers seemed not to respect the character or not have an understanding of what makes the character Superman relevant and the resonant staying power that Superman attains. I agree with that wholeheartedly. The problem is, after the uh, I don't know if mediocre is the right word, but after the funny, I'll use his word, after the clumsy performance of Man of Steel and the disastrous performance of BVS, it really shook Warner Brothers and like, you know what? Maybe the character of Superman isn't as relevant. Maybe the character of Superman isn't as popular as we thought, which is incorrect because Superman is very popular. Superman is still to this day. There's a reason why the character has been around for over damn near 100 years. The problem was general audiences just did not like Zack Snyder's take on Superman. That's really it. It's as simple as that. They did not like the dark overtones. They did not like how Superman was handled in those films. General audiences believe that that's not how Superman would act and react. Basically, you had a Superman film where Superman just did not trust humanity, and did not want to be a part of humanity. So why would general audiences watch a Superman movie where he hated humanity throughout the 2 hours and got killed off in the second movie? Yeah, so it was just a monumental mishandling of the character. That's basically what it was.
personally, I feel like when it comes down to the Flash, as an executive, right, I would have said to myself, is this what we're doing with these characters? This is what we're going to do with the first Flash film, a film, by the way, that I do appreciate exist because it was like going all the way back to what, mid 2000s or something like that. We were being supposed to get a Flash film. And I like the fact that the Flash film exists. However, I do not like what the Flash film does. It's too childish. Clumsy. It's the same thing that I saw in James Gunn's
I don't know what
Superman
that means.
preview. It's almost as if these people has gotten the wrong idea about these DC characters. But
The
if you pick
problem
up
with the Flash wasn't that it was too childish. The problem with the Flash is that the script wasn't that great, and the CGI was not up to snuff. That was the problem with the Flash, and Ezra Miller as as Barry Allen, again, one of the more divisive castings that fans had a problem with. And again, when he says childish, again, I'm assuming he means the comedic nature of the films. That's not the problem, bro. Every every movie has comedic elements to it. Even Schindler's List, the most depressing movie of all time, even that film had some comedic elements here and there. You know, it's all about balance and how you handle the comedic tones. And the fact that these guys are taking a 2 minute clip of Krypto uh, attacking Superman, they think that's indicative of everything that's going to be throughout the 2 hour film, which is not the case whatsoever. Oh my God, humor and Superman, how could this be?
the comic book, they don't act that way. They don't act the way that many people try and say that they should be portrayed. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like
You don't even have to pick up the comic book. You could just watch the animated films, and they don't act that way.
They don't act that way. Superman, the animated series, he did not act that way. And people fail to realize that there's a lot of folks out there who has become a Superman fan. It was because of the animated series. So they was not introduced to what these people are talking about. You know what I'm saying? All right.
What do you mean? I don't know how Superman is supposed to act. From everything that we've seen of Superman, he looks like Superman to me. He looks and sounds and acts like Superman is supposed to act. And within this film, it's been established that Krypto and Superman don't have the strongest bond. Now, it seems in this film, Krypto belongs to Kara and not Superman, which is why there's such a disconnect and a friction between Superman and Krypto. But by the end of the film, I'm sure Krypto and Superman will have a much stronger bond and connect more, which again is an arc throughout the film. I'm sure many characters in this movie will have arcs that will be fulfilled by the end of the film. We're building up to the relationship between Superman and Krypto. So I don't know how I don't know how James Gunn's Superman is not how we've seen from the comics and the animated series and the other previous films, stuff like that. Because he's telling Krypto to stop attacking me because I'm injured and I got my ass beat by something. That's not how Superman is supposed to act. Is that what you're saying? Again, it's really hard to argue the points when he's not clarifying his statements. I don't know what he's saying. All you're saying is it's clumsy and I don't like it. Okay, what's clumsy about it? What don't you like? So that we can break it down and get to the heart of the matter, get to the root of the problem. You saying that's like me saying, Man of Steel sucks. Okay, why does it suck? Because it sucks. Okay, but what sucks about it? What don't you like specifically? It's clumsy. Okay, what's clumsy? I don't know what you mean, bro. What do you mean by clumsy? What's clumsy? The editing, the music, the acting, the cinematography, the dialogue. What's clumsy? It's corny. Okay, bro, I give up. I give up.
So that as a kid growing up.
Oh, you see, personally, I was not introduced.
The anti-woke mob will be triggered by my comment. Oh, bro. Oh, God. Again, another thing. I don't know what that means, bro. No one is triggered by your comment. We're just trying to figure out what you're trying to say so that we can refute your point with dialogue. Because we don't know what that means.
To Christopher Reeve Superman first, and that is why I feel that I am a better Superman fan than most of those who believe that Christopher Reeve was the definitive Superman. No, I was already introduced to Superman through the comics. Mm-hmm. And then one day my uncle told me, he said, we're about to watch the Superman movie. Because back then you didn't go to the movies. You know, the film came out in 1978. And I was like, it's got a superhero film called Superman too? You know, I was young back then. I was born in 1984. And I was like, okay, I watched it. Now, they had some nostalgia in me. I said, okay, it's a Superman film. But even back then, as a kid, I said, but the film was dumb. And people would say, dude, you're stupid. How could you say the Christopher Reeve Superman is dumb? Because there's a lot in that film that is not explained.
Exactly.
They don't even tell you that Kryptonians get their...
Much like this video. So you guys have a lot in common.
powers from the sun.
And for me,
the first film,
my
they don't
first
tell you
introduction to a live action Superman was with Dean Cain, with Lois and Clark.
So I remember that TV show. I love that too.
Around the 90s, around the same time as Superman the animated series did.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, Craig Mahoney said, "Hey, 4KO, my opinion is it was horrible and worst I have ever seen. is truly already showing lots of biggest red flags before it's going to be released in July 11th.
But
That is the biggest L from James Gunn and Warner Brothers Discovery.
do you notice how people like Jords Corner are only praising this movie? The only reason why they're praising what they've seen from this movie is because it's not Zack Snyder.
Well, see, I don't have.
Is that true? Again, I don't watch Jords Corner, so I can't really say anything about his thoughts. I know he doesn't like the Snyderverse, but again, he's not alone in that opinion because a lot of people clearly did not like the Snyderverse. I like the Snyderverse for what it was, but again, it wasn't the true DC experience that fans have been wanting, which is why so many people are excited for James Gunn's Superman because it reminds them of the comics and of the Bruce Timm, Paul Dini animated series, of the Superman animated series, the Batman, the Justice League animated series. It has that vibe, it has that tone, and it has that Silver Age Superman look and feel to it, which by his own admission, he clearly said that, yeah, it doesn't. I've read that, that the Chris Reeve Superman was not the Superman that I grew up with. I grew up on the Superman comics. Well, if that's true, then you should know what James Gunn is gleaning from. If you've read the Superman comics, if that was your first experience to the character, then you should damn well know this. Oh yeah, this is what James Gunn is doing. I've read All-Star Superman. I've read most Superman comics. I've read the Silver Age. They're goofy as hell. And you can clearly see that's where James Gunn is taking his inspiration from. Like, oh, okay. And especially All-Star Superman. The robots in the film are a direct lift from Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman comic. Like, James Gunn is literally showing you where his inspiration is coming from. The source material. That's where it's coming from. It's not a big secret. Like, it's not like, James Gunn is pulling this out of his ass. It's like, hey, I want to make up a completely new story. Like, no, this is what James Gunn grew up with.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with anybody praising it, right? To me personally, I feel like you're okay to do that. But when you praise it, right, but praise it for what it is. You don't, right, praise it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to say, well, this is better than that, this is better than this. Because personally, when I saw Man of Steel, I didn't even talk about Christopher Reeve Superman. When I watched the first trailer, I didn't have to even compare. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't have to say, oh, this is going to be much better than Reeve Superman or Superman's Returns. I didn't have to say that. I just went in excited about the film, the version that I was going to get, and hoped that it was going to be good. Lo and behold, I walked out of the movie theater and I was blown away by how great Man of Steel was.
Okay, so that was a interesting video, but again, I couldn't refute much. I tried because just saying it's clumsy, it's not what I want from a Superman movie, which is like, okay, but you're saying that this one is better. Or you're saying like, well, this is not from the comics, but if you've read the comics, then you should know this is what James Gunn is pulling from. Like, I don't know, it's a little strange, his argument. But again, interesting take. Didn't get much from it, but that's gonna be it. Hit like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, TikTok. Your sisters @Chicks when it comes below. What did you think of this video? Very enlightening. I guess. Just I don't know what else I could take from this, but yeah. This is if this is the state of the the DC YouTuber lane and space, then I think thank God I'm around, because I think we need more people like me. Love you all. Stay safe. Truth out.
I cannot wait to fuck this thing.